boy. What the fuck? Oh my god. Ow, my ankles. Hey guys, I know you just saw me like try and make love to my bed there, but I forgot that I have a YouTube channel again. This is tape from an interview that happened on April 18th. If you're watching this sometime in the future, I was interviewed about my upcoming album. Guy actually sent me the tape for me to edit and put into a video, so here you go. TBI comes out on May 1st, which is in less than 2 weeks. And there's also going to be a tour that follows that this summer, so please stay tuned. Also, on my merch shop, bonfire.com/Dango Torres shop, link in the description, we have a sale going on, 10% off of your order, code TBI 2024 at checkout, and you can get 10% off of your order. Do it. We have limited edition merch. We have Amiscus live at Acadia and Boomtown. Even if you're not going to be at the concerts, you still got the opportunity to buy some concert merch. You know what I'm saying? It helps the family out, you know? Now, into the actual interview. Enjoy.
All right, Dango to Tango. Let me ask you a few questions, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the concept of your upcoming album called? Traumatic brain injury.
The concept of my album that's coming out soon, it's about my brain injury. TBI stands for traumatic brain injury. It was a brain injury I went through 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Was it? Yeah, almost 3 years ago, June of 21. And so this album goes through not only stories of just that injury, but what happened before, just growing up, being, you know, in a rough environment, and then afterwards all the shit that came with it, you know.
Factual. Let's not get ahead. Listen, guys. All right, second question. Why did you write Man of My Word?
Man of My Word, that's going to be the first track on the album. Man of My Word is about running away from my dad's house. I know, I haven't really gone over this much publicly, but this is 3 months after I got out of the hospital, mind you, or had the brain injury. And so I'm with the medical helmet, a walker, and it's 4:50 a.m. on the south side of Houston. I catch 3 metro buses all the way up to get to my grandmother's house. True story. Despite the, you know, the shitty storytelling abilities that I have, that's what happened. I wrote that song just about the freedom of being out of my dad's grasp because he was just a horrible man.
Well, goddamn. All right. Second question is, why did you write Back to Houston? Sound like Raw Wave.
Yeah, Back to Houston. Back to Houston was it's a song about being homesick. I was on a plane. This is maybe like a year after the brain injury. I'm basically fully recovered at that point. This is a song that I wrote on a plane. So I was on the way to Indiana on a plane. It was about a 2-hour flight. You know, I'm trying to go to sleep. It's not working. And I'm just like, bro, I just want to go back home, bro. Why do I get dragged into this, right? I'm going to see family, you know, it's a good thing, but I just really wanted to go back home. So take a coffee napkin, and I take a United Airlines staff pen that I borrowed from one of the flight attendants. And I, you know, wrote a couple lines. Why don't you get up out of my way? I'm going back to Houston. Your time is up. My mind is made. You know, stuff like that.
I love that. All right. Third question is, why did you write Justify?
Justify. Oh, that's my latest single that I released. Justify was about probably the biggest relationship I've been in thus far. It's this girl named Angie, and
we name dropping. Okay.
Yeah, we name dropping. Angie's been real quiet since this dropped. Anyways, so all right, on a serious note, what happened in that relationship was, you know, we had been together for about maybe a year and a half, stuff like that. It was before the brain injury we got together. We were together after that, and then eventually, you know, things just sort of died, you know, faded away.
Let me cut you off right here. Do you feel like you were in love during that time point?
For a while, yeah, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what caught me off guard is whenever we were almost 2 years into the relationship, and she moved to California, and then she broke up with me over text. And
I know that hurt.
Yeah, there's a even darker part of that relationship as well. I could get into that.
Okay. Why did you write Feeling Down Blues?
Feeling Down Blues, man. That's the slow blues song on the album. I wrote that just because of the feelings that I got after I ran away from my dad's house. It was really depressing, you know. I was in the house. I couldn't get out. I couldn't do anything, you know, that I would normally be able to do. It was a really just sort of fucked up point in time where I was just stuck, you know, limited in what I could do because I had, you know, medical restrictions. Of course, my brain was directly exposed because I had to open part of my skull open and take it out because it was swelling my brain. So I wrote that song just about the sort of melancholy state that I was in for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, until I could actually, you know, get back on the road again, you know, get back into school and everything like that. Yeah, that song, I think that song sort of shows off my vocal range a little bit on the studio recording.
You get down like that? All right. This question is, why did you write The Purest of All Angels?
Purest of All Angels, man. There's the ballad on the song. So the first 4 songs that hello. The first 4 songs that you've asked me about so far have been about they've been bluesy songs, you know, the funky bluesy jazz, all that influence. This song is the border between the 2 sides of the album. There are 9 songs in the album. This is the 5th one, and this one is the ballad. The song was about the death of my great-grandmother in May of 2023. At the end of May, maybe a couple days before school, after school came out. I mean, she had Alzheimer's, and, you know, towards the end, she had like a fall in the driveway. It was a concussion, or, you know, she had her own form of a traumatic brain injury as well. That only sped her up, you know, to the end. So I wrote that song just acknowledging her. She raised me my whole life, you know. That was my Wella. She took care of me from from diapers all the way up until, you know, the very end. Even when she wasn't in her right mind, you know, she was always taking care of me and, you know, showing, you know, love and appreciation. Shit, I'm lucky to say I knew my great-grandmother, you know. She was an angel, so. Yeah.
Well, as a black man, I love my grandma too.
That's everybody, as you should.
All right. 7th or 6th question, I believe.
Yeah.
Why did you write Fill the Air?
Fill the Air, oh boy, there's the most controversial one. This is where the second side of the album starts, and it's not controversial as if, you know, I was saying anything that's controversial, like politically or...
Like blackface?
No, not like that, not like 3 big balls, none of that, none of that. Fill the Air was written about bitches and, people who like to lie. You know, there was a time in my 8th grade year, this is just coming back into in-person school after the brain injury, right, so this is last year. And I had, what do you call it? I had just, you know, been trying to make friends with everybody. These are people I went to elementary school with, right? You know, I hadn't seen in 5 years, because I you know, grew up in like the first like 5 years of my life over here, you know. I hadn't seen them in years, and, you know, I want to reconnect with my old people and stuff like that, and that was about it, but people just treat me like shit. Matter of fact, this song is applicable today, because, you know, I can't go to school without getting a comment or anything like that.
From drop your names?
No, there's too many. Yeah. You know, there's been lots of threats and lots of accusations, criminal accusations. I'm not going to go into what they were, not now at least, but there were some really shitty accusations that I proved false. And I got the line "fill the air" from just what they were kicking up, basically out of thin air. They were making shit out of thin air, you know. Kicking up old dust that didn't even exist really, and, you know, it was getting to, you know, some pretty amplified sources. If that stuff could have gotten to a police officer, I could have been tackled on the spot, you know. A lot of shit could have happened. A lot of shit could have went wrong. So that's why I wrote it. It was sort of like, you know, just, fuck you all, you know, you bunch of lying sons of bitches, you know, fill the air, bitch, you know.
Fill the fucking air. I love that. I love that. why do you think you wrote Disregarding Faces?
Now, I think I wrote no. I wrote Disregarding Faces. This is right after the brain injury, right? A few months after. Now, I wake up from a 2-week coma in the hospital, and I find out that my dad started suing his parents, who I was living with, my grandparents, who I'm living with now, but started suing them for negligence, because apparently he wanted to frame them like it was an assault. My accident was an assault. So he said that my grandfather pushed me off of a bike or something like that and almost killed me, and which wasn't the case. And I wrote this song more specifically during those court cases, how my dad would just straight up lie to the judge, and you take an oath in court. You say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Facts.
He fucked that oath up the ass by lying, bold-faced lying to the judge. The things he said, I don't remember half of them because, well, they weren't true, and he had to keep up with the story, which he didn't do so well. Halfway through the court case the last court case he showed up to, that bitch went down. He got caught up in a lie, and it's what ended up happening was, we won the court cases. There was a civil lawsuit he filed, and as soon as my grandparents were served the papers, they went for custody of me, and we won that last March. Not a month ago, but March of 23.
Gotcha.
Final order was March of 23. It was a whole fucking fiasco right there. That's Disregarding Faces.
Alright, for your next song, why do you think you wrote The Valley of Death?
The Valley of Death. Now, no reference to Gangsta's Paradise, by the way. No reference, no affiliation. I'm just saying, no reference. I wrote The Valley of Death as sort of like a message to. It's like a sequel to Fill the Air. Like you fuck around me, you don't know where I'm from. You don't know the connections I got coming from the Valley of Death, motherfucker. Take a look inside. Some of the lines I wrote in the song. What do you call it? You live in a fantasy with crying puppy eyes. You want to think you're confusing me. The grain of salt is mine to take.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a message, fuck you, you don't know where the fuck I'm from, so.
Facts. Alright, next song. Why did you write Dying Me?
Dying Me, holy fuck. This goes back to the beginning of the injury itself. This is the most direct song about the injury. This is, in fact, what it was like waking up from a coma in the hospital. Knowing that I couldn't walk, I had to relearn how to walk. I did a year of physical therapy, but at first I could not walk. I couldn't get up out of bed. I couldn't eat solid foods. There was multiple tubes going in through my, throat and mouth and shit going into my arm, and I woke up with all this stuff on me and a medical helmet on. And the fact that my dad was putting all this shit into my brain saying, your grandparents don't give a shit about you. They don't care. So we're going to go and we're going to sue for, we're going to go get you some money. We're going to sue them. And I'm like so confused over this because I know what he's saying is full of shit. And as a matter of fact, as soon as I woke up at that coma, I literally called my grandmother. He left the room. I told him to leave the room for a bit so I can, just reconfigure myself and see what the fuck was going on, because it's been 2 weeks since I've spoken or done anything of consciousness. I woke up and I called my grandmother, and she was like crying. She was so happy to see me, and I was like, she told me what was going on, and I was just like, holy fuck, this is a whole situation here. At that point, I wanted to be anywhere except for in his grasp. It was to the point where I would literally. That was the only time in my life I've ever considered, because of his just how he was. I mean, he literally threatened to kill me multiple times. So there were times where I was damn near gonna say, why don't you act upon it, bitch, or something like that, because I was just done with it. I knew it wasn't the right thing to do, but there were times where I felt like that. I felt like I was just a hunk of meat, that just kept on living and living. This is probably the darkest song on the album. So that's Dying Me.
Now, to breathe a little more light into the air, This name threw me off first, but The Wheel.
The Wheel. Oh yeah, here we go. This is a song that's not on the album. It's been released as a demo though. I'm gonna consider it a B-side because of it's sort of like it's an outtake, I'd say, not a B-side. It's an outtake because it's just about your value to people. It's not really a dark song. It's more upbeat. It's probably the poppiest song I've ever written ever. As a matter of fact, it took very heavy inspiration from Nirvana and all those other, alternative bands and stuff like that I listened to maybe a couple years after the brain injury. I had a little phase with that, but The Wheel was written about your value to people, how when you have all of this stuff around you, like riches or, fame or anything, people love you, they're all up on you. They want to get some of that. It's sort of, have you heard Ransom by Lil Tecca?
Yes, sir.
Just a rap reference. It's sort of like structured like that, not lyrically or anything, but it's the same, themes. It's your value to people. Because whenever you lose that said valuable resource, like, money or whatever, people go right back to hating you. And it's just one of the most sickest things I've ever seen. I just, it's a constant reoccurrence throughout my life, It's like I go up and down in this world, and I just, it's just up and down. It's waves, of how people like me. It don't like get to me, Because at the end of the day, all I really need to do is, take care of myself and my family, and that's it.
All right, starting to wrap this up. I got 2 more questions for you, Dango. When can we expect the album to release?
May 1st is when the album comes out. Yes, it'll be on all streaming platforms. Won't be on the radio just yet, but it will be on Spotify, Apple Tunes, Pandora, fucking YouTube, everything. Snapchat, TikTok, everywhere. Instagram.
Yes, sir. The last one for you for today. What are your plans for the summer tour?
The summer tour, oh boy. So we're going on tour around Houston. There's a couple dates set up right now. I was trying to see if, I could get some of these dates, a few more dates set up for the summer, but these places are just so busy. It's around Houston. If you're in the Houston area, show up, please. It's going to be awesome. I hope all of you are going to be there. I've got this new band called Amiscus that I'm working with. It's a drummer, bassist, and a saxophone player. One of the members of the band is like 70-something years old. I don't know how old he is, but shout out to Roger.
Roger, I love him.
Yeah. And it's a good little group, I've got exciting plans for this summer, and it's gonna be awesome, man.
Well, glad you're here. Thank you, Dango.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Tango to Tango. How may I help you? Wait, what?
Okay.
All right, first question is, what is the concept of your upcoming album, to be honest?
To be honest,
TBI, right?
TBI, it's a traumatic brain injury.
Oh my god.
I thought it two.
Sorry.
I did, okay. Oh my god.
Wait.
Correction.
Wait. What? I just same question again.
Yeah, same question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. just say
Wait, 3, 2, 1, go.
Dango.
No notice, no traces, disregarding faces. No notice, no traces, disregarding faces.